Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. So today we will discuss the remaining topic of chapter number 9, that is the understanding solution. So in the previous lecture we discussed about the solute, that is the substance that is present in minimum quantity in the solution, and we also discussed about the solvent that is present in the larger quantity in the solution. We also discussed the solution, that is basically the combination of solute and solvent. We also discussed that how a solute is dissolved into solvent to make a solution, or simply we can say that how a solution is formed. So today we discuss the next topic of chapter number 9, that is the understanding solution. The next topic is, can we get the solute back? So here we go. If a solution is left in an open container, the volume of liquid decreases as the solvent evaporates. This process is known as evaporation. The solute does not evaporate. After some time, there is not enough solvent present to dissolve all the solute. The solution becomes saturated and crystals of solid solute starts to form as the solvent continues to evaporate. This process is known as crystallization. So basically there are two procedures by which we can get the solute back. The first one is the evaporation process and the second one is the crystallization process. So what is basically the meaning of evaporation process? Evaporation derived from the word evaporate, and when we use the word evaporate, it means that the liquid state is converted into the gaseous state. So basically in the evaporation process, what happens that the liquid state of matter is converted into the gaseous state. So when the solution is present in the container and the container is unlidded, which means that there is no lid on the container, then the solvent will evaporate gradually. The process of evaporation is very slow, that we cannot note it under ordinary circumstances. So what happens when the solvent evaporates gradually? Then only solvent is the portion in the solution that can evaporate. The solute will remain the same. So what happens when all the solvent will evaporate from the solution? The portion that left behind from the solution is the solute. And as the evaporation continues gradually, after some time, there is not enough solvent present to dissolve all the solute, which means that quantity of the solute will increase in the solution because the solvent is escaping from the container. So at last the solution becomes saturated and the crystal of solid solute starts to form. So as far as the solvent will continue to evaporate, the remaining portion is the solute that will convert into the crystal form. So this process is known as the crystallization. So we can say that the crystallization is the process in which the more solute in the solvent is transformed into the solid. So this solid is known as the crystal, and the process is known as crystallization. Cooking salt is produced by evaporating seawater. Seawater contains a large amount of salt. So cooking salt is produced by trapping seawater in shallow pools. Heat from the sun evaporates the water. The salt crystallizes and is racked into mounds to dry as shown in the picture. So what do you think that the salt that we use for cooking purpose comes from? It basically comes from the rocks. So where did the salt comes into the seas and oceans? Basically, when the rain falls, it dissolves the salt which is present in the rocks. And you imagine that where did this rainwater goes? It goes to the rivers, from the rivers to the seas, from the seas to the oceans. So the last stage where the rainwater stops is the seas or oceans. So we can say that the salt which is present in the seas and oceans comes from the rocks. So from the seawater, the cooking salt is obtained by the process of evaporation. So how we can get the salt from the seawater? So seawater is trapped into the shallow pools. These shallow pools are specially designed so that the seawater can stand into it, and from the heat of the sun the seawater evaporates, and when the seawater evaporates, the residue that is left behind is the salt. So the salt crystallizes and it is stored in the form of mounds so that it can dry. So here is the picture. You can see that how the seawater is stored into the shallow pools, and the seawater is allowed to evaporate by using the sun heat, and the salt that is obtained is dragged into the mounds, and these mounds are allowed then to dry, and after drying process this salt goes into the industries or refineries for further processes. Gases can dissolve in water. So when we talk about the solution, so the most important thing that comes into mind, that either the solute is always be solid, or it can be liquid or gases. So the answer is yes. The solute can be solid, it can be liquid, and it can also be gases. Gases also dissolve in water. We know that fish breathe oxygen dissolved in water. Water plants use carbon dioxide dissolved in water to make food. Soda is a solution of carbon dioxide in water. Fizzy drinks such as Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola are the same, except that a flavor is added. The dissolved carbon dioxide give cold drinks a tingling taste. So the examples of the solution in which the solute is a gas are the fizzy drinks. Basically what happens that in fizzy drinks the solute that is added is the gas, and the gas which is used in the fizzy drinks is the carbon dioxide, which gives a tingling taste on cooling. Similarly, the aerial plants that are present on the land, it is very easy for them to take carbon dioxide from the air, because air is a mixture of gases and it contains carbon dioxide gas. We know that carbon dioxide gas is very important for the photosynthesis process of the plant, and photosynthesis process is not only has the prime importance for the plant but also for the other living organisms. So what happens to the aquatic plants which are living in the water? So basically the aquatic plants take carbon dioxide from the water. Carbon dioxide gas can dissolve in water, and that's why the aquatic plants can live. So this was all about the today's lecture. Thanks for watching.